when this controller goes around, the segments are these. They're called segments because they're portions of an arc. There's a circle 5 1/4 inches in diameter, and these segments bend around that. They make the contact between the wire, the finger, and the segment. Everything's copper here, and this is all one connection together. So when you do this, the electricity is going from here to here. When you go further along, it's going from here to here, and finally from here to here. These fingers have been developed over the years. The most primitive ones are these right here, and the ends of these fingertips are, instead of being bolted on as the more modern kind, this finger has a piece of copper molded right into the finger sticking out, and then we did what was called peening, which I think we showed.
Yeah, we did a segment of that.
We peened that down, and it's a very solid hold. In fact, when we took the old ones apart, it was all we could do to get them off. So we use this type of finger because that's what the controllers had, not because it's any better. And fortunately, we were still able to get them. I guess nobody's buying them, so they're sitting in the factory. So that's the most primitive type. Then this type right here is called a Russell reversible fingertip. This finger you can turn right over. If it's burned out on one side, you flip it over, and you get a new surface right there. And you can see just a little bit of wear on this. It probably would have been fine the way it was, but I wanted to turn it over. Patented December 6, 1910. They were made actually in Niagara Falls, Ontario, but they had an office in Niagara Falls, New York, and I did buy some years ago, and then the company went out of business and there's no way to get any more. Then the most modern type is this right here, and this is called the compensating type, and it's a little bit more flexible. See, this one doesn't bend much, and if there's a slight misalignment, you don't get a good contact here, whereas this one, you get quite a good alignment. And then you have the adjusting screws on all of them in different places. So this has a kind of a mixture of all the different types here. As basically what happened is I ran out of these original ones, as they had when the car was running. It came to us with a mixture. They must have just gone through their stock room until there was nothing left, which is just what we had to do. Now I've also talked about, but you can actually see them now in place, of the two different tips on these. This is just a solid piece of copper, and when you shut off the current, if you don't do it properly, you'll get an arc between here and here, and it will melt that away. Both of these will tend to burn away, and you'll have to end up replacing the whole thing. This says new on here because it was new to the job. Some of them we reused again and cleaned them up. This one has a burning tip because, watch this as it goes around. You see how far that would be, and you'd hate to have to replace that whole piece of copper. So this one has a burning tip which is removable. Now that's what they call a lock type burning tip,